Dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Today let's explore another Windows room on the TryHackMe, which is Blueprint. Before we go ahead, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. I'd like to take this video to showcase some important techniques. First of all, I'd like to demonstrate how to exploit a specific CMS or content management system. And also I'd like to show you how to transfer files from Windows to Linux. And the next will be the highlight of this video. I will demonstrate 3 different approaches to extract hash from Windows machine. And last of all, I'd like to show you how to use msfvenom efficiently without using Google. Okay, so now let's head over to Kali Linux to begin with. So what shall we do next? We need to perform port and surface scanning with Nmap. To save time of this video, I've already completed before. So now we can get out its result. Let me make the font to be bigger so you can see what's going on exactly. As you can see over here, I took the options like scene scan, the version scan, default script scan, and another very important option if the target machine is Windows PN, not to do reachability scanning or testing. And the last option for all is ON, to output the result into this file. Then we can retrieve scanning results whenever, just as what I'm doing now. Although you can notice here, the IP address has been changed because I restarted the target machine. Anyhow, this will not affect our demonstration. From the Nmap scanning, we can know that the target machine has several open ports. Let's take a look at them one by one. The first open port, 80, its surface is HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And also we can get its version information, IIS. And the next port number is some sort of RPC, remote procedure call. In most cases, we cannot do anything for such surface or for such ports, okay? And the next one is used by NetBIOS or Samba in Linux. And the next one is 443, is SSL. And also we can get the version information, Apache 2. And the next one, I think the surface is Microsoft DS. And I don't think we can do anything for this surface for now. And the next one is 3306. Its surface is MyCircle and unauthorized. And the last one, not the last one, the 8080, the surface is also HTTP, and we can get its version information, including the version number, Apache 2. And the remaining ports are some sort of RPC, as either. Again, we cannot do very much against these surfaces, okay? So what shall we do next? Like I mentioned over and over again in my channel, if the target machine has file sharing service running, we should enumerate those services first. In this case, I have to enumerate Samba or NetBIOS service first, okay? So how to do? We can use SMB client with uppercase L option and followed by the IP address of the target machine. Hit enter. And then we need to supply the password of my own machine. then we can get back all shares of the target machine, like admin, IPC, users, but I don't think we can get anything useful from those shares. Okay, so what can we do next? We need to enumerate the first web application on the port number 80. Let's fire up the browser to perform manual enumeration first. We can put the IP address of the target machine into the address bar of the browser. So now it's loading. File or directory not found. So I don't think we can get anything from this port number 18. Let's move on. The next open port 443 we can access is SSL. Press enter. Accept the risk and continue. And we find this OSCommerce. As we know, this is some sort of CMS or content management system. So up to this point, without too much difficulty, we have already found, or we have already identified CMS, even its corresponding version number. We can copy and paste over here. Okay, and we can click and catalog, and we can get back this eShop site. Nothing useful. And next we can, of course, we can launch the Nicto to perform automatic enumeration. Or not this one. I need to copy its IP address from notebook. In the meantime, we can take a look at the 8080 port with the browser. 8080. So I think this port number is running the same application as the 443. So afterwards, I think we can pay our attention to either of them. For example, like 8080 to save time. Okay. Nicto didn't give us anything useful or valuable, so I'd like to interrupt. So next, we can check to see whether we can access its robots file, right? Robots. So not found. Next, we can launch GoBuster to perform directory enumeration. Use double option to specify the word list. GoBuster, directory, medium. Extension option. Okay. HTML. I don't think, in the root directory of this site can give us anything back. So to save time, I'd like to interrupt. If you want, you can make, deeper directory enumeration for this one. But I'm not going to do that. So what we are going to do next, since we have already got back its version of CMS, so next we can check to see whether this version is vulnerable or not. And we can use Google or we can use exploit database. But I prefer this one, certutil, and we can copy, or not this one, OS. And we can get the list of available exploits for this particular version of CMS, OSCommerce. And we can try one by one, but I'd like to try the last one or the latest one. We can copy, and we can use the option, search exploit, M option to get its exploit from its source to the current working directory. So now we can, we can run this. Of course, you can get out. We can, and we need to supply the URL, right? So how to do? Very easy. And we can copy. Maybe we need to change the IP address, right, of the target machine. 199.60. Hit enter to see whether we can get shell remotely. So testing, injecting system, fantastic. Even the user is administrator, like root in the Linux machine. And you can confirm by running command, who am I? System info. We can use this command to get back information about the system on the target machine, like architecture of the system, the version of operating system, and so on and so forth. It will take a bit long time. It's done. And hotfix. So how many hotfix installed? And then the work, the model. So this is the 86 architecture, not 64. Okay, so next, I think because we have already got the share of the administrator, it will be very easy to grab the root flag. Okay, so we can run dir to list out the the users. So administrator does. Administrator, and run it one more time. Oh, not. Users, administrator, and then desktop. So then we can find this root flag, and we can use command type to grab users, and administrator, and desktop root. Press enter. Beautiful. We successfully retrieve the root flag. So now it's come to the core part of this video, because as instructed by the room, we need to get back the hash, the NTLM hash, and also we need to decrypt. Of course, we can use hashcat, John Ripper to crack the hash if we can get it, right? Or online service. So I think the most difficult part is on how to extract hash. Okay, and next I'm going to show you 3 different approaches to extract hash. The first one is to use Mimikatz. Okay, so Mimikatz. I'm not really sure I can find it. Yeah, I've already got this executable ready. You can use locate to find, by default, Linux has this utility, this one available, and this one has 2 versions, 32 or 64. Based on our gathered information, this case we can use this version. Okay. Next, we need to transfer, or we need to upload this binary or executable to the target machine. So how to do? We can set up a web server on the Linux. But next, we need to use one of very useful command for the Windows. Unlike Linux, we can use many different commands like wget, like q, to download something. But in this case, we need to use another utility, certutil. And actually, certutil, maybe I can certutil. This is a tool which can help us to manage certificates. But also we can use this kind of a tool to, to download file. Okay, and to be honest, this is a bit complicated command. I will open up this link and we can copy. Here F means the force to overwrite the, the downloaded file or existing file. Okay, and we can copy. And we can, here, HTTP, and then the IP address of Linux. Oh, 8,000 not, and followed by the file name. We can copy the file name, Mimikatz. We can copy. And we can save it in the current directory. Okay, our web server has already received a request from the target machine. This file is a bit big. Okay, it's done. And although there is error, but I don't think it matters. Okay. And then we can run this Mimikatz to dump hash. Mimikatz. And this utility can support a variety of different modules or functions. And in this case, I'd like to use this module as a dump. I want to dump SAM database. SAM stands for Security Account Manager. Okay. And when it's done, and then we can exit. Press Enter. Exit bind. Oh, sorry. For Mimikatz, we need to use double columns. My bad. So we can copy this command. So where? Yeah, here. Dump and SAM. Exit. Press Enter. As you can see over here, we successfully retrieved or dumped all hashes. And this one is what we are looking for. And we can copy this NTLM hash. We can copy, and then you can go to the online service, or alternatively, we can use John Ripper to crack it. But here we can use the crack station, and we can get its clear text password. All right, so this is the first approach to extract a hash. Next, I'm going to showcase how to use Metasploit framework, particularly msfvenom, to generate a payload, and then we can set up handler with Metasploit console. Okay, let me show you in action, and then you can see what's going on, exactly what I mean. Okay, so how to do. And as you know, msfvenom can support so many different types of payloads, and also can support different kinds of the architecture. So how to choose appropriate payload? Of course, we can use Google to make some research, but this utility msfvenom itself can give us help and usage. For example, I can use the list, this command, to give us all available payloads which are related to the Windows architecture or Windows machine. And then Meterpreter, okay, payload. So we can hit enter. So why I'm using grep? Because these payloads, the list will be very large. I do not want the payloads flood my screen, okay? And so Windows 64, Meterpreter, Windows Meterpreter, and TCP. I think this one is what I'm looking for. And also, besides, local host and local port, we also need to specify the format. Oh, maybe encoder. For Windows, if the target machine is Windows, in many cases we should use encoder and to attempt to bypass antivirus or some kinds of firewall. And also, the msfvenom can support so many different types of encoders, and we can use the similar way to get, the appropriate payload. Sorry, not a payload, encoder. Okay, let me show you. Venom list encoders. We cannot remember everything, right? But if we can grasp this method, and then we can get our job, our work done perfectly. And if you check this list, yes, I like to use this one. And also, the msfvenom can support a variety of formats, okay? And we can use this way. Formats. For example, like a raw, like EOF, if the target machine is Linux. Okay, like C. And this one is what I will be using. Okay, so now I have been very clear what options I need to take, and then we can use. I can launch this command to let me auto-complete this command. So I use the -p option to specify the payload. And then we should specify localhost. In this case, is our canonics and local port number 443. And also we can specify the architecture 86 and the platform. So Windows. I don't think the Windows, the platform is not necessary. And then I use -e option to specify encoder. And then format is executable, Windows executable, and then use the -o option to save into this file. Okay, press enter. All right, the payload or executable has been created successfully. Next, we need to launch Metasploit console to set up a handler waiting for collection from the target machine. In the meantime, we need to transfer this payload executable to the canonics. Okay, so how to do? We can use the same command. I'd like to copy from where? Yeah, no, not this one. Yes, this one we can copy up to this point. We can copy. Payload and payload. I want to save into the same directory or current directory. Let's press enter. Okay, it's done, and we can run command dir. Yeah, it's there. Before we run this payload, we need to set up the handler first. So we can use exploit multi-handler. Next, we need to change payload to this one. We can copy from here. And then we need to set localhost to our canonics. And local port, oh no, set local port number to 443. That's it. We can run it. And handler has started. So now we can execute this payload. And then we should get a Meterpreter session. And the Meterpreter is very wonderful and powerful payload, which can provide so rich functions. And the HackTheBox is one of them. So it's sending, okay? So we just run HackTheBox. Very easy. We can get back the all hashes, okay? So this is the second approach I'd like to demonstrate for you. Next, I'd like to demonstrate the third approach. The canonics has one Python utility, secretsdump, and we can use this Python script to extract hash. But before we do that, we need to save data from the registry. Okay, so let me show you what I mean exactly. Okay, so rec save rec save. The first one sorry, same. And we can use the same name. Same, save. Press enter. It's done. All right, it's there. And similarly, we can save. Sorry about this. Say rec save and HKLM system save. And then save security save. Now we need to transfer these 3 files from target machine to Linux. This will be very easy. We can use the browser to download. This should be under, I think under, we can, the OS catalog. Okay, catalog. And install and includes same save. Press enter. Okay, it's done. Next we can download security and the next or last one is system. Okay, press enter. And it will, okay, it's almost done. Oh, it needed to take about 10 minutes to download. So see you later. All right, I'm back. So now we have already downloaded 3 files. And let's bring back the terminal window. And I'd like to move from downloads directory to current directory, security, and next is same. Okay, so now we can locate secretsdump Python script. We can run maybe this one. It doesn't matter. Sorry about this. What I'm doing. And then we can, maybe I can auto complete this command. As you can see, we can get back the hashes. And which one is for lab? Yes, this one. And this one is LM hash, but we are asked to grab the NT hash. So we can copy this one and use John Reaper or use online service to crack it. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you next. Bye. Have a nice day, please.